Warning, censorship. Warning, censorship.
Again, share this out.
No, sorry, you touched me. You can't touch me. I'm not doing anything wrong. Don't touch me. Stop it. I can't breathe. Help me.
So officers, you're live on camera, so how come they're being trespassed on public property? What do you want to say to the viewers who think this is disgusting what's doing here? They've never been violent for the last couple of weeks. Why are they being trespassed? Nothing to say?
Somebody call me. Hey guys.
This guy's here live again. Hamilton police have just raided the freedom protest one more time.
Efron Monsanto.
Oh, I'm actually being ticketed?
Yeah.
I'm actually being ticketed, guys, on camera. Take a look at this, guys.
So,
For what am I being charged for again?
Reopening Ontario Act.
No way. Wait, this is an 880 COVID fine?
There you go.
This is an 880 COVID fine? What is it?
Give this to you, okay?
Guys, I'm being actually ticketed live on camera.
There you go.
What's your name and badge number? Sorry, what's your name and badge numbers?
You're also trespassing the property.
I'm trespassed for what? For what?
That's correct, because you're failing to comply with the Reopening Ontario Act.
For being a journalist? For being a journalist.
Attending a gathering. You can stay 2 meters away and be a journalist, but you weren't doing that. So that's why you're being ticketed.
And one last thing for the viewers live, since we're still here. Will this deter you for future protesting, or will you guys still continue?
This is only going to make more people need to come down. This is crazy.
Hey guys, Efron Monsanto here, head of video for Rebel News, here with another report from my Hamilton lockdown freedom protest coverage. So I went back to City Hall, and yet again, government gang members were there and detaining and ticketing people simply for protesting in what I thought it was a free country. Lo and behold, Ontario is not. Now you may be thinking, this is all going to come to an end. No, there's going to be another lockdown. Take a look at this.
We put in place some of the toughest public health measures anywhere in the country. We need to maintain the stay-at-home order and all public health measures until at least June the 2nd.
Now you may be wondering why I keep bringing you Hamilton lockdown coverage. And the reason why is that I want to tell these people stories. They're facing intimidation from state agents that are armed every single weekend. And it's my duty to bring you the other side of the story when possible. Because take a look at this CBC headline. 7 people charged for going against the Reopening Act of Ontario. What does that mean? 7 people charged simply for protesting in a free country against these most restrictive lockdown measures in North America.
We have implemented the strictest measures in all of North America.
So this has been happening for a couple weeks now since I've been there. But police and bylaw have been harassing these same people since January. Astute viewers of Rebel News might remember when me and my colleagues were all harassed along with the freedom protesters here in Toronto that fateful weekend, January 16th. Hamilton had their own clash between the police. This is simply a bystander who was watching the police and bylaw detaining the small number of freedom protesters at City Hall. And look what the violence they committed to this man. Take a look.
If, again, share this out.
No, sorry, you touched me. You can't touch me. I'm not doing anything wrong. Don't touch me. Stop it. I can't breathe. Help me. Help me. I can't breathe. I didn't do anything wrong. What have I done? What did I do? What did I do wrong? What did I do? I'm not under arrest.
Now, in what country would this be an arrestable charge? Simply for viewing a protest happening? Now, the reason why these armed members of the state put their hands on this helpless man was simply because he didn't give his ID. Now, as you know, you legally have to give your ID anytime that you're outside in the police state that we live here in Ontario. That fateful weekend was the first weekend that police went out there and started abusing this practice. Now, the only reason why they ask you for ID is not for health purposes and not to provide any sort of help towards you. The only purpose is to hand you an $880 ticket minimum or a court summons where you're liable for a potential $10,000 fine or up to $100,000. Now, let's go back to that same video that happened a couple months ago, like I said, that fateful weekend, and take a look at what they said to the camera operator just for recording that violence. They asked him for his ID. You don't believe me? Take a look at the video.
I did not obstruct anything. What are you guys doing?
I didn't hear a word of that. Can we step? Can you give me a minute? I didn't bring ID with me. There's the officers, 3 officers there know exactly who I am.
I don't need to be ID'd. You know exactly who I am.
Well, I need your ID, sir. I'm sure you have it.
Now, this is why I head over to Hamilton every weekend, because I want to make sure that any sort of police misconduct is captured on camera and to show you that this is happening here in Ontario. Dozens of police and bylaws simply coming out to harass and detain and financially extort the protesters of this rally. It doesn't make sense to me, and I hope it doesn't make sense to you. Now, this weekend was a little bit different. I decided to hold them accountable. I've been doing this for 4 weeks. I go live every single weekend on Instagram, first to show you guys breaking news as it covers, as I'm there, right there in the moment. But it's also for my safety. I'm there by myself. I don't know what the police are capable of. I've seen in Toronto, they covered my footage, they shut me around. We're in a current lawsuit with them. So if they try to put their hands on me simply for bringing you the other side of the story, at least one of you guys could call Ezra and let him know that I'm in jail. And we have an officer here taking photos. I'm assuming for evidence. This is usually a bylaws job. That's why I'm very surprised that police immediately came out of Hamilton City Square. Immediately started detaining. Officer just took a photo of me. I'm in the Hamilton City database, I guess. Just want to keep going live, guys. So I decided to ask accountable questions to bylaw officers. This week, it's Lee Reinar and Matthew Huber. These guys are the typical bylaw officers that come here every weekend. Now, this is what happened. As soon as I got to the protest, I came a little bit late. Forgive me, it's Mother's Day. And as soon as I got there, this is what happened. Let me show you this.
I'm just going to call my legal representation. I have legal representation. I'm going to call my lawyer.
My friends, this is a God's land. We're all on
So they're being trespassed off public property, guys, for non-violent protesting. You know, this is Hamilton Public Square. You can see this is Hamilton. This is very odd. And you can see the state. This is completely empty. There's nothing going on. You know. So they're being trespassed off public property. Like I said, this is a weekly freedom protest here. Very odd. Exactly, trespassing on public property. There's never been violence in here. This is where everyone do their protests. BLM. The May Day stuff, whatever. It all happens in public properties. So now we have bylaw here. This is what their usual jobs are.
I'm not looking to harass you with it. That way I have it. You're not 2 meters from us, right? I'm disappointed.
You walked up to me, so you can sit two-way.
I'm going to give you a ticket if you don't step up.
You stepped up to me. If you want to give me a ticket, go ahead. You stepped up to me. You can walk back.
You're not 2 meters from them either while you're recording. So.
I've been 2 meters the entire time.
I'm going to record with this guy.
Okay.
So officers, you're live on camera. So how come they're being trespassed on public property? What do you want to say to the viewers who think this is disgusting what's doing here? They've never been violent for the last couple of weeks. Why are they being trespassed? Nothing to say? What about you guys? Bylaw.
2 meters.
You guys should get 95s, eh? N95s. Those face masks don't really do much. Hey guys, hope you're enjoying the video. Sorry to interrupt, but as you know, big tech is censoring us. We may be kicked off YouTube. We're on 2 strikes. Head over to rebelnews.com, give us your email, sign up with their phone number. That way we can continue sending you the other side of the story. Now back to the video. So I want to show you guys, these guys come from City Square. We paid our pensions, we paid our salaries, and they're treating us like garbage here. I think we really do expect more from these people. I want to show you guys, this is literally what they do. They come in City Hall, they garrison inside City Hall, and then come outside, take these people, half a dozen people simply, and just walk out.
Can I just explain what you just saw?
Yeah, well, what just happened?
Is this live?
It's live.
Okay, I'll really quickly say, I'll send you the video, Efron, of my trespass. I don't know if you saw the one with the kid with the wheel, and they tackled him, right? Basically, because I was standing there filming them beating the crap out of some 20-year-old, the one cop looked up and goes, "We can't have that. We can't have me filming him." So she immediately walked up and said, "You're trespassing," right? When it was clear that what they were trying to do was keep me from filming. Thank God you're here now. When Son of God here got arrested, what they did is they trespassed me from City Hall so that I couldn't film them dragging him away. right?
my
They
God.
just anybody who was filming, they gave a trespass to.
Yeah.
And that way they had carte blanche to do what they want. Sorry, go ahead.
For the record, like, just to make it clear for the viewers, you're simply here to protest these, these restrictions from Doug Ford.
Yeah.
And you're never violent in the last 26 weeks you guys have been here.
This is week 26. Every Sunday at Hamilton City Hall, this is week 26, and we haven't had any violence, right? There's no need for the police to be here. If the bio want to come out and give out the toilet paper, that's fine. But nobody's threatening the...
For record for today, so what were you served with? Another trespass notice? Was it another COVID 880 ticket, a court summons?
Actually, the 880 tickets, no one's got yet.
Because I know from last week you guys were ticketed, some of you.
Enter premises when entry prohibited.
So for being on a public square, you haven't gone inside the building. No one's ever done that. You're simply just here beside the public bench, beside the sidewalk, on the front steps.
Yeah, I'm not even near the center of City Hall.
And one last thing for the viewers live, since we're still here, would this deter you for future protesting, or will you guys still continue?
This is only going to make more people need to come down. This is crazy.
This is City Hall. Most City Halls don't have this many police vehicles in the back. This is what, 5? How many City Halls would you expect in Ontario to have 5 fully loaded cars ready to go? For every officer that we saw today, this is where they're coming from. Just ready to go for a simple 6-person at the time that I came and the time that they were handed tickets. Unbelievable to me. But for those still tuned in, be sure to follow our live. This is actually one of the bio officers that ticket people. I recognize her from last week, but anyways. Now, that was the first wave, as I like to say it, because they ended up coming 30 minutes after, and you won't believe what happened. They actually gave me an $880 ticket live on stream. It's hard for me to believe, and you want to hear the reasoning, it's because I wasn't 2 meters apart from the protesters or from them. Now, I'm being told how to be a journalist from a member of the state. Unbelievable. This is usually what happens in other countries. I wouldn't expect this to happen in Canada. Take a look at the second wave when they came out, where they ticketed me, they detained the rest of the protesters, like they do every single week, which is why I'm bringing this to you live. Now, not only are they being handed out $880 tickets, they're actually being trespassed off public property here in City Hall at Hamilton. Unbelievable. These protesters have been nothing but peaceful for the last 25 weeks, which we've been doing this. Is this something reasonable to you? This guy's here live again. Hamilton police have just raided the freedom protest one more time.
Efron Monsanto.
Oh, I'm actually being ticketed?
Yeah,
I'm actually being ticketed, guys, on camera. Take a look at this, guys.
So,
for what am I being charged for again?
Reopening Ontario Act.
No way. Wait, this is an 880 COVID fine?
Here you go.
This is an 880 COVID fine? What is it?
Give this to you, okay?
Guys, I'm being actually ticketed live on camera.
There you go.
What's your name and badge number? Sorry, what's your name and badge numbers?
You're also trespassing the property.
I'm trespassed for what?
That's correct, because you're failing to comply with the Reopening Ontario Act.
For being a journalist? For being a journalist.
Attending a gathering. You can stay 2 meters away and be a journalist, but you weren't doing that, so that's why you're being ticketed.
So this is a complete joke, guys. I've actually been ticketed for being right here. Ticket, guys. These complete joke gang members of government out here giving people tickets simply for being outside. This is an 880 ticket, guys. This is unbelievable.
You're free to be a journalist, but you gotta stay 2 meters back.
Who are you to tell me how to be a journalist? Out of all people, excuse me, who are you?
The rule is you can't be...
You're just a bylaw officer, so stay with your job, I'll do my job. Don't ever forget that.
I did my job.
Don't ever forget that. Exactly. Don't ever forget that. We'll find you in court.
You're required to identify yourself. I'm just gonna walk away.
You might be arrested. You don't have to be violent. These guys have been violent in the past. You have to give up the ID. So this is round 2. They came out here before. This is round 2. The government gang members giving people tickets. This is unbelievable.
We're all here and the police to protect Canadian citizens' right to freedom. And I want to thank you all for your amazing dedication, your stellar public dedication.
Officers, can you guys explain what's going on here? Want to say that to the camera real quick? Do you have anything to say what's going on here? Do you feel like this breaks your oath in any sort of way?
Immoral, corrupted criminals.
Tyranny in Canada, and enough is enough. All right? I'll be going off the...
So they're grabbing IDs because at any point when you're outside in public, you have to give ID, and your minimum for an $880 ticket. And this is unbelievable, guys. These guys are armed with guns. These guys are paid a minimum of $70,000 salary, pension after a certain amount of years, and we're paying them to do this complete job right here. It's unbelievable. This is sad to see in Hamilton, Ontario.
Should be ashamed of yourself. You're gonna have to live with this the rest of your life.
These guys are armed with guns, and they're out here doing bylaws work.
Shame on you! Shame on you! Shame on you!
So now they're walking back where they belong.
Shame on you! Shame on you! For intimidating people! Shame on you!
For those saying that's just a taser, they have a taser and a weapon. They have both tasers and real arms. Just to fact check you guys. So they just served an 880 ticket just for protesting in Hamilton. Obviously, protesting is illegal under Doug Ford's Ontario.
I want my ticket now. Please, can I have it?
So you want to see what happened to you? We're live right here. What just happened to you?
I was sending a text, and all of a sudden these guys came out of nowhere. Obviously, I had a plan, and they just offered me. They say, "Can you identify yourself?" And I said, "No." They said, "You have to legally." And I said, "I'm just going to walk away." And they said, "You can't. We can follow you, and you're trespassing."
I did that out of your safety because I've seen them violently attack people and arrest them because they don't care.
I appreciate you telling me
I'm
that.
sorry. I appreciate
you telling me that. But then they said, "Give me your ID." I'm like, "It's just better to give the ID." And so he gives me, a few minutes. He walks away, takes my ID, and then he gives it back to me and says, "We will ticket you at a later date."
I'm going to quickly grab this, sir. Hey guys, sorry to interrupt. Got to remind you, the dollar's collapsing. Take a look at our federal debt. It's unbelievable. Got to get out of fiat. But listen, be smart. Be at the top of your dominant hierarchy. Head over to rebelnewsstore.com. Show your support for decentralized currency. The Fed's not going to take it. And also for your support for Rebel News. rebelnewsstore.com. Use code STAFF10 for 10% off. Now back to the video. So I just want to show you. So she's taking evidence for the Hamilton court system. Photos of just a dozen people protesting. This is unbelievable. Now they're going back into City Hall. These guys are police officers doing bylaws work. I don't know what's going on here, guys. So now they're walking back. If you take a look at previous videos, I've seen them detain dozens of people. 880. This is a Hamilton City Hall freedom protest every Sunday. There's only half a dozen people here. And for the viewers at home, I just got a ticket from this officer here with his buddy for trespassing on the city square. They're saying because I wasn't adhering to the 2-meter rule. I'm being told how to do journalism by bylaw and police in Hamilton, Ontario. Do you guys have anything to say to that? Do you guys feel like this is gross? Do you feel like you're upholding your oath when you signed to become an officer? Do you feel anything right now? Or is this just, you're just doing your job? I get it, you're just doing your job, we understand. You guys have pensions, you guys have families, you guys have kids, we get that. So do these protesters as well, don't forget that. So now they're going back into City Hall. Like I said, they garrison inside City Hall with 4 or 5 SUVs, police SUVs in the back. And they just come out here, cowardly. This is how it's done. I had to keep the camera on them because they have been violent in the past, like I've seen with other videos allegedly here at the same protest months ago, a couple weeks ago when I wasn't here. Like, I'm not joking that these guys actually come out of City Hall. We paid our taxes, we paid our salaries. This is how they treat us. Unbelievable. This is unbelievable. And it's illegal. It's a police state. It's illegal to protest here, all of it, Ontario. And now for the first time, I've only been dealt this in Montreal, but actually given a ticket, I believe for trespassing, which I think is worse than just a COVID ticket, but for trespassing on the public square. I'm in Hamilton City Square right now. This is unbelievable. Now, I want to bring you a positive note to this story, despite all the police interactions. The protesters themselves have been keeping high spirits. Take a look at this picture, which I took at their secret undisclosed location, which they have after every one of these city hall protests, where they have a family picnic to bring normalcy back to the kids. Now, a week before, bylaw and police actually followed the same people to this undisclosed location and intimidated them. They brought 6 police SUVs and 4 bylaw vehicles. They had a dozen officers and bylaw on standby. Now, I can report that that day nothing happened. No tickets were handed out. Maybe the police just don't like it when you hold the camera back at them. Now you may be wondering, why do I hold the police so accountable? Aren't they just doing their jobs? Understandably, but the Hamilton police do have a history of corruption. Take a look at this. Just a couple days ago, a Hamilton man was actually pulled over by a man impersonating a Hamilton police officer at 12:30 a.m. Not to mention, just a week ago, a Hamilton officer was actually charged with assault for lunging at a woman in a viral video that went around. Now, if you do a simple Google search for Hamilton police corruption, there's dozens of articles. I don't want to rehash old news to you, but you get my point on why I'm there and why I'm making sure nothing happens. And if it does, it's going to be on camera and they're going to be held accountable. Despite handing out $880 tickets to everyone in attendance, the police were pretty professional. And I'd like to say that I've been told personally by people at the protest that it's because I hold the camera to them and I go live, and that puts them on the spot. So that's why I continue doing it every single week. Hey guys, hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching. If you want to help support content like this, head over to lockdownreports.com. Chip in if you can. For me, to head to Hamilton is not a big deal, but for other reporters heading to Montreal, to Calgary, to bring you nationwide what's happening with these lockdown restrictions, be sure to help out. Take care.